There's a very specific kind of silence, the kind that doesn't just sit in the room, it lingers. It stretches across the walls, fills the space between your thoughts, and somehow gets louder the more you try to ignore it. And you don't even realize how heavy silence can feel until everything that used to make noise in your life is gone. That was me, standing in the middle of a life I thought was solid, watching it quietly fall apart like it had somewhere better to be.
You tell me the right thing. Oh, you tell me the right thing. Oh, you tell me the right thing.
So hey besties, welcome back to This Isn't That, where life be switching the script with zero warning, and I'm just here to keep my edges and my sanity intact, okay? Now, before we get into this episode, if you've been listening and you haven't left a review yet, I just need you to know I'm judging you a little bit. Don't be in the background enjoying the tea silently. Participate. Leave a review. Send this to your best friend, your cousin, your situationship that needs to hear this but won't admit it. Yeah, them. Send it to them. All right? So let's talk. So boom. You ever been in a relationship where the vibe leaves before the person does? Like emotionally, they've already clocked out, but physically, they still stand there like an unpaid intern. That was my energy, okay? Conversations got short, eye contact became optional, affection, missing in action. And I'm sitting down there like, so we're just going to keep acting or are we going to wrap this up? Because me, I don't do confusion. We either together or we auditioning for an emotional chaos, and I didn't sign up for that role, okay? So yeah, we broke up. Not soft, not pretty, not peaceful, just done. Now here's where life said, oh, so you thought it was it? That was it? No. We just getting started here. Because right after the breakup, I had to figure out where I was about to live. Like immediately. And let me paint this part for you, okay? I'm cramming and packing whatever I can fit into my tiny little Kia Rio. Okay? No plan, no destination locked in. No, I'll just go here for now. I mean, strictly just vibes and a trunk that's holding more stress than groceries. Okay? And I'm standing there like, so we just loading up life into a sedan and seeing what happens now? Because at that point, I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know what I was about to do. I just knew I couldn't stay. And that kind of uncertainty, it'll sit in your chest real heavy. But also the situation was so wild, it was almost funny. Like, girl, this is not a road trip. This is a life plot twist. Like, what? So where did I end up, you ask? A hotel for 3 weeks. Now, don't romanticize it because it was not romantic. This was not vacation vibes. This was not, ooh, let me just take a cute picture in this robe type of energy. This was survival mode with complimentary soap, okay? This was me sitting on that bed like, so this is what I'm doing now? Are you serious? Day 1, I was hopeful. Day 5, I was adjusting. By day 10, I'm questioning everything, y'all, including my life choices from 2007. Like, what the fuck? And I'm not gonna lie, those 3 weeks, they were heavy because it wasn't just losing a relationship. It was losing what I thought my life was. The routine, the comfort, the illusion. And I had moments where I just sat there quiet. No distractions, no noise, just me. And my thoughts kept acting like they had a podcast of their own. But let's be real. Even when life is doing the absolute most, it will still give you moments that make you laugh. Like, why am I trying to build a home vibe out of snacks? Crackers, juice, microwave noodles, plated like I'm hosting an event. Like, girl, be serious. And housekeeping? They always knock when you emotionally vulnerable. Like, ma'am, I'm really going through it in here. I don't need no towels. I need answers. But somewhere in all of that, something changed. And when everything gets stripped away, I was left with me. And I realized I don't want to go backwards. And I don't want to keep forcing something that clearly isn't working. I don't want to lose myself trying to keep something else or anything like that. That hotel room, it stopped. It stopped feeling like punishment, and it started feeling like preparation. So let me pause right here, because this right here, this isn't that moment. What feels like a breakdown is not always a breakdown, okay? Sometimes it's a forced breakthrough. That hotel room wasn't me losing everything. It was me being stripped down to rebuild better. This isn't the end, y'all. Okay? This isn't that. So at some point, I had to ask myself, okay, what are we doing now? Because sitting in sadness forever, that wasn't an option. And something in me said, we're not staying here. Not physically, not mentally, not emotionally. Okay? Now this part kind of feels like a movie. So sit back and get your popcorn, because it all started with a conversation. A coworker and I were talking about needing to find a place and me being in the hotel. And she mentioned to me a guy who has properties for rent. And I'm like, hold on, pause, run that back real quick. I instantly asked for the number, because at this point, I'm not playing. Like, hello. So boom, I get the number. I get off work. I get in the car. I'm driving back to the hotel and I call him. Ring. Ring, ring, no answer. And when I tell you my stomach just dropped, it like dropped. Because now I'm thinking, of course he didn't answer. That's just my luck. Why would life be so easy for me, you know? But I leave a message in hope, because we're not giving up that fast. And then 2 hours later, my phone rings. And when I say I sat up so fast, hello? He calls back. And we talk. Things align. And just like that, new place, who's this? I got a place. Do you hear me? After everything, I got a place. And that moment was more than just finding somewhere to live. That was confirmation. So if you're in a season where everything feels uncertain, where life flipped the script without asking you first, where you feel like you're stuck in the in-between chapters, hear me clearly. You're not stuck. You're transitioning. And yeah, it's uncomfortable. And yeah, it's messy, but it's necessary. So if this episode spoke to you, do me a favor, please. Leave a review. Tell me what hit home. Share this with somebody who needs it. And follow the podcast so you don't miss what's next. Because trust me, this story, it only gets better. And as always, this isn't the end. This isn't that. It's just the beginning.